2 weeks ago, the Virginia Cavaliers announced their presence on the national stage with a convincing 2-0 win over the defending champs and then #1 ranked Maryland. Today, the Cavaliers face another top 10 foe as they travel to Durham for a showdown with Daniele Proch and the second-ranked Blue Devils. The battle for supremacy in the nation's best soccer conference begins today. Virginia Duke next on ESPNU. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. A beautiful night here in Durham, North Carolina on the campus of Duke University. A top 6 clash between Virginia and Duke, two teams that have national championship aspirations. But if you want to win the ACC regular season championship, this game will go a long, long way. Alongside Charlie Davies, I'm Dallin Cuff. Chuck, when this schedule came out back in June, we looked at this date and circled it with excitement. It's finally here. What are you most interested in as we're about to kick off?
Well, Duke has been largely untested. They're 4-0, but they haven't played an opposition with true quality. Tonight against UVA, they've already knocked off the #1 team in the country. They're ready to knock off the #2. Tonight should be interesting.
Been a great start so far for the Cavs, but also for Daniele Proch, one of the star strikers and one of the many stars on the field today. He came in as a National Player of the Year candidate, Mac Herman watch list guy, 5 goals in 4 games. What makes him so outstanding?
He's very clever with his movement. He's savvy, close ball control, and he knows when to float in and out of pressure. He finds himself in between the lines, and he's tough to deal with. I mean, the guy's a poacher, he's a finisher, but he also is a creator. They're going to need him to be very dynamic tonight.
He's going to have to be outstanding, but he's one of many talented players, as I mentioned, on the field. We look at Virginia on the other side. Daryl Dike, he was all-freshman ACC last year. He is a big physical specimen. How does Duke slow down this guy?
He's an absolute beast. And John Kerr's mentioned to us that he's going to need 2 defenders to mark him. Now, he cannot just depend on his athletic power, but he's got to be able to link up with the front 3, and he can be dangerous tonight.
We'll see if he can do that in just a few minutes. When we come back to Koskinen Stadium here, we've got lineups and kickoff, a top 6 clash. What a way to start the ACC conference slate. We're back in a minute. Back here in Durham, Sergey Nus, center back, chatting with George Gelnovac, who was his coach at UVA, 2-time All-League performer. Nus, he is now a grad transfer starting at the center back spot for Duke and John Kerr in the 3-4-3. Scotty Taylor gets a start for Colby Agu. What jumps out of this lineup?
Matthias Frick, the converted center midfielder. He was previously a center back. He's impressed Kerr. He's brought in initially for height and presence, but he's got to be winning the aerial battles, strong tackler, and relieve pressure.
Scored in last week's game against Harvard. On the other side, Gelnovac goes 4-3-3. Aaron James gets the start for Brett Halsey, who's injured at right back, but Joe Bell is really the guy pulling the strings in the middle.
The key player, he's already turned down professional contracts this summer in order to continue his development under Gelnovac. He's made a lot of progress. He's a deep-lying midfielder, and he tends to play dangerous balls in behind.
New Zealand international, played at the U20 World Cup, and we're off and running already. Daniele Proch trying to take it right down on the Hoos, but dispossessed as we start the ACC conference slate here on ESPNU with a top 6 battle. And Nus gets reacquainted with Daryl Dike quickly. The grad transfer from UVA, following Dike, who was all-freshman team last year. See him hopping. He's got a little pep in his step, a little juice in this ACC conference.
Yeah, Sergey Nus is setting a message early. We're going to be physical with you. When you check for the ball, you're going to feel pressure.
Aaron James on the ball. It's a redshirt junior. New England Revolution Academy product 21, getting the start there for Brett Halsey, as we mentioned. Halsey picking up a hamstring injury in training this week. He is not dressed for this game, so they'll be platooning to replace him. And Gelnovac told us that's a big loss as Colin Shuttler's pressured. Turned over, and Brandon Williamson on the ball. The aforementioned Frick. San Pinto drives it. Sunil Vericone in some space. Got to find Scotty Taylor, a freshman. Can't get it sorted out. Lays it off to Proch. Proch may get an opportunity, but it was a handball called by our official, Kellen Radosov.
That's exactly where you want Daniele Proch to get on the ball. Scotty Taylor plays it in. It's a little too far in front of him. Aaron James makes a great play on the ball. Causes deflection.
Daniele Proch again, 5 goals in just 4 games. All ACC last year. Second team All-American. Joe Bell. Wayward touch, not common for him. There's John Kerr in his 12th season here at Duke. He was a former player here, won their only national championship in 1986, National Player of the Year. You see 5 NCAA tournament appearances, have yet to get past that round of 16 though at Duke when he was under the helm. You know, said it to us last week. That's something that's weighing on them, and this team you think is capable of doing that? George Gelnovac, a guy that knows all too well about winning national championships and winning this league. 24th season as the head coach. He is 7th in the nation in terms of active coaches in terms of winning percentage, 2 national titles. Been part of all 7 of UVA's titles as a player, assistant, or head coach.
Hall of Famer. I mean, there's nothing more to say except, you know, he's learned from the best in Bruce Arena. And he's developed as a coach. He's talked about continuing to learn as well. You know, a coach that's never missed an NCAA tournament, you would think that they'd get relaxed, comfortable. No, he's actively trying to get better as a coach, and that's what inspires the kids to want to learn from a coach that knows that, yeah, you're always learning. I think he models his team after Manchester City. As you see, he likes to get his fullbacks high and involved in the play. They get tucked in, inverted. And this Duke team's got to figure out the movement. How do they play?
Axel Gunnarsson gets up to Nathaniel Cross. Cross going to get a shot off. Saved by Will Pulisic. Go out for the first corner. Quick attack there in combination play. Nice ball by Axel Gunnarsson, the freshman from Sweden.
Great play in behind. Croft's active. They talked about his movement. He's very quick, and he gets a shot off.
Taking the corner kick for Virginia, number 8, Joe Bell.
Joe Bell will take the corner. First one of the match. Low driven ball to the spot. DK went up for it, couldn't come down. Farrakhan's got a little space. Time, but he turns it over. Almost. Good second effort, keeps it to Proke, and he'll maintain possession. So early on this first game, the intensity level in conference games is always a little different. What are you watching tactically from both teams?
Well, earlier when we spoke to John Kerr, he said he wasn't sure whether they were going to press or drop off. Gelnovac, the same thing. He said we're going to prepare for both. Last year, when Duke went to Charlottesville, they won 2-0 because they dropped off. And UVA was anticipating them coming to press and being high and aggressive. They didn't, and it worked out for Duke. So tonight, were we going to see a little bit of the same? Or are they going to take the initiative to press and put these UVA backs under pressure?
San Pinto pressing the ball forward as he found some spaces. They broke some of that pressure. Brandon Williamson over to Ian Murphy. Aiden Stanley on the ball. 1-2 with Proke. Stanley's got a dangerous left foot ball played into the back post. Arriving late. It's a goal for Gunnarsson! On the back post. Gunnarsson. The Icelandic native, and what a ball played in by Aiden Stanley.
And it starts with who? Daniele Proke playing the 1-2. The whipped-in ball perfectly timed, and the cross was fantastic and finished in the back of the goal with a clever header. Nothing the keeper could do. Guided in. Strong finish by Gunnarsson. And the Duke Blue Devils are off to an early start. 1-0 Duke. It couldn't have gone better for this Duke team. And we talked about Daniele Proke being involved in different ways. Here, it was let me come off, play a 1-2 to help the process on the left side develop. And what do you know? Fantastic from Aiden Stanley to put that ball in and find Gunnarsson on the back post.
Gardarsson's first goal of the campaign. The junior from Iceland, what a header too. Nothing Colin Shuttler was going to do about that. That was a rocket, but George Gelnovac was worried about the balls played in as Stanley goes down hard. From Stanley, from Gardarsson, from Max Moser when he comes into this game. So they were concerned about dealing with those crosses. The first one we saw, real dangerous, and they capitalized.
And there's the ball whipped in, perfectly timed run, and then Gunnarsson from that distance just put it back to where it came from, and the keeper has no chance. You see John Kerr fired up. It's a great start for Duke.
Within 5 minutes, Duke's on top. We'll see how they manage this. And last year, this Duke team scored 2 goals in the first 20 minutes, and they kind of parked the bus and were able to manage the game the rest of the way to a 2-0 win. This is a more seasoned Duke team, a different Duke team as Gardarsson's on the ball again. Oh, they're sitting back, looking for Veracone. Hit a little bit too much on it. In the end, Henry Kessler can usher it out for a goal kick.
Aiden Stanley perfectly timed the ball, and the curve, the delivery. Now you know Max Moser can do the same thing when he's in the lineup. So when you talk about this 3-4-3 formation that Duke have, both wingers are capable of just whipping in delightful, tantalizing balls that the keepers are unsure. Do they come out for it? Do they not? And then the back post run, usually unmarked, you're set up for a beautiful chance on goal.
For sure. Stanley's 3rd assist of the campaign. All-freshman team last year. A lot of guys representing that all-freshman team last year on both these squads. It's Axel Gunnarsson, ball played over his head. Who's back off? Allow Murphy to play it back to Will Pulisic, cousin of U.S. international Christian Pulisic, who played in one of the 2 games the U.S. lost against Mexico, 3-0. Christian was involved in that game. Will, an outstanding goalkeeper. Spent some time over in Germany with Christian when he was at Dortmund. Went over there, took a gap year before coming to UVA.
Learned a lot. I mean, that's a valuable experience being in that environment where it's every day dedication. You have to give it 100%. It prepares you for the next level. So you come here, you have another standout season, and then you'll have a possibility to go pro after this year if you have another standout season, because teams can see the value in going over to Europe and getting those valuable training sessions.
He was an all-ACC performer last season. Leads the country in terms of juniors with minutes played. He's logged a ton of minutes, and he was over at Dortmund. He played 8 appearances over there in Germany in their U19 team. And to your point, just getting that experience, John Kerr raved about it. He's pretty much had the glove since he got here to Duke, now in his 3rd season. Frick advances into midfield. A little bit of a heavy touch, but able to stay on it. Proke can't control it.
Duke are keeping their wingers really wide, so they have all this space. The important thing is you cannot have a turnover in the midfield, a careless ball, because you're going to be under the gun. You have players out of position, and then the advantage goes right to UVA.
Potentially an advantage. Quick throw into DK. Who's trying to be physical with him. DK able to turn. Tried to get past Noose, but it goes out for the 2nd corner of the match for the Cavs.
Now, I love seeing this matchup because you know they went after each other in practice every day last year. So they're very used to how each other plays, the nuances of the game. Now it's who's tuned in at all times.
Again, Noose, the graduate transfer from UVA, some injury issues early last season, decided to not play and have a chance to play another full season as Joe Bell is over the ball. Floated to the spot again. Frick gets it. Out to Proke. Daniele will try to clear it, but pumped back in. Crofts on the ball. Finds Daniel Steedman. Steedman, another one of those all-freshman team guys.
Now, Duke is pressuring the ball. They're not giving UVA any space in their half, in their defensive half. I'm going to watch Joe Bell here because it seems like he's floating everywhere, trying to find the soft spots in Duke's defense. Trying to get on the ball because he's a player that can dictate the tempo. You leave him alone and he can carve you out because he plays balls in behind, he gets players involved in the attack. Duke has done a good job of nullifying Joe Bell thus far.
Again, Bell 8 in white, just picked up the ball now. Back to Steedman. Back to Bell. Good work by Scotty Taylor, the freshman.
And it's got to be a team effort from Duke to take him out of the game. Not just Scotty Taylor. Also Sunil Veracone and Danielle Proke. Because if Daniele can tuck in, then you're forcing UVA's center backs to beat you with balls. And that's what you want. You want the center backs, the defenders, to try and make the game.
Aiden Stanley with the assist in the opening goal. First goal that UVA has conceded this season. They were one of 5 teams coming into this game in the nation that had not conceded yet, but that now is over. How do you like the response in the first 6 minutes afterwards?
they're still trying to figure it out. They're not fully aggressive in the press, and they're not completely dropping off. It seems like they're starting around the 30-yard line, and that's when they're going to initiate their press.
Scotty Taylor with a heavy header the wrong direction. DK's going to settle it down. Tries to dance through too many defenders. Falls to Diasano. Lays it back. Bell may take a crack. Takes a touch. Eventually Murphy snuffs it out. Daniele Pro flashing a little bit.
Behind me.
Stanley dummies it, but he's not able to get there. Andreas Uland read it beautifully.
Miscommunication there. He was dummying that for Daniele Proch to make that run in behind.
Uland on the ball again, Norwegian international. Freshman on this squad, but played for all the youth teams, 17, 18, 19 under for Norway. Coming over here is a 20-year-old freshman, very seasoned guy. James on the ball. Shuttler looks to play it long, trying to pick out DK as he battles with Noose. DK wins that battle. He is just so physically imposing.
Normally you're going to have a defender front and back end, so you're not allowing him to settle that ball in his chest.
Yeah, 1v1, you're in trouble there.
That's for sure.
Pulisic. He looks long. Vericone in some space. Tries to flick on to Taylor. Can't connect.
Galnevich likened him to Lukaku. I mean,
yeah.
What a comparison when you're talking about powerful strikers. But what else can you do besides use your strength? Can you find the right spots? Do you have delicate feet? Can you link up the front three?
How about delicate feet? Daniele Proch doing a little something.
Here he comes. He sees that, tries to play a quick two-touch, and then nutmegs Joe Bell. Oof. Fantastic bit of skill.
Steve Milkley tried to nutmeg Aiden Stanley now, but Stanley got his knee down to block it. Proch's been outstanding so far in this year. It's hard to come in with a lot of expectations and deliver on them, to say the least. 5 goals, 4 games, creating goals, creating opportunities.
But when John Kerr is so high on a player, you have to respect it. And so my expectations were immediately, this kid can ball, and he's right.
DK spinning out of trouble and drawing the foul in what will be a dangerous area. Nice work from him. Sophomore. It's the 4th foul already on the Blue Devils.
DK holding off two Blue Devils and then gets fouled. I mean, he's so strong.
College soccer fans remember his brother Bright played at Notre Dame. He's a Big East Player of the Year back in 2009. First-round pick by the Columbus Crew in the 2010 MLS Super Draft as Joe Bell gets set to play the ball in.
Everyone should be touch tight.
Outswinger. Unless he can't keep it in, that went off Cavalier. All right, tomorrow, huge game in college football. Clemson at Syracuse. This is a big one, 7:30 on ESPN, on ABC, excuse me, on the ESPN app. Clemson coming off the big win against Texas A&M. Syracuse got blitzed last week by Maryland, lost by over 40. But this Cuse team has given Clemson trouble. Beat them 2 years ago, last team to beat Clemson, and took them to the brink last year. That's going to be a great game, 7:30 Eastern time. We get going. ACC Network also has a watch party happening. Check it out. Speaking of football, Wake and Carolina are on ESPN right now, and they are scoreless. That is a battle of two 2-0 teams. Wake and Jamie Newman playing well. Sam Howell, great quarterback at North Carolina, the freshman. As soon as this one's over, flip over to that. Gunnarsson shielding the ball. Cozy Donaciano dispossessed. Who's player of the week in this conference in the first week. Scored 2 goals against Pacific, but this could be a big mistake. Proch on the ball. 2-on-3, but Prok looking to get a shot off. Does, and it's just wide of the net, but touched by Shuttler. Says the referee, Callan Radisov, and we will have the first corner for the Blue Devils.
I love this from Daniele Prok. He's driving at the back line. Scotty Taylor makes a good run, and he lets it go. Take your shots. You could get a deflection. It could be on target. It results in a corner kick. Fantastic from Daniele Prok. He is tuned in tonight.
Christopher Gardarson walks over. The goal scorer will take the corner. Gardarson floats it back post. Frick's going to put it back in the mixer. DK gets it forward. Vericone trying to keep it in. Prok will come away with it. He's got Stanley and Vericone there to help. Oh, crafty Vericone now, chance to cross. Oh no, he crosses over, gets a shot off, saved! Quick shot, better save by Shuttler.
A bit of skill from everyone out there on Duke in the attack. Daniele Prok, Sunil Vericone, quick feet, the shot on goal. Great save by Shuttler, and to put the rebound out wide.
That was a heck of a save to get down quick to his left. Last year he was second in the ACC with 8 shutouts, just showed you why. Nice footwork by Brandon Williamson here too. Duke's starting to feel it a little bit. Vericone shoved off the ball by Robin Femafuna.
Daniele Prok, he faces up Aaron James. He sees the runner, he already knows where it's going. Plays it with that slick 2-touch. Daniel Vericone cuts Joe Bell there because Joe Bell was thinking he's gonna get the cross in. Cuts him, has his eye on goal, gets the shot. And Shuttler does a good job of not putting that rebound right in front of Scotty Taylor.
They just showed that in the video board. The crowd was oohing and ahhing out here. You were squatted watching it with anticipation in the replay. Gardarson here now to take the free kick. Driven back post. Scotty Taylor's there! And the freshman who netted one last week against Princeton is going to want that one back.
I saw his eyes from here light up. Great ball in. Scotty Taylor sees it, and he just mistimes it. I think he was maybe, his vision was blocked just a tad, and you're already thinking, oh man, this is going to hit the back of the net. I've been there before. And you just take your eyes off the ball.
Taylor there tried to settle it down. Couldn't quite make it work. Steedman, nice work on the ball. Dips out of a challenge. Out to Femafuna. DK made a shot, but no, Mateus Frick is back to take control, and Pulisic will get it out of dodge.
Now, we haven't called Steedman's name too much. He led the Cavaliers last year with shots. He needs to be involved in the offense. John Kerr mentioned that he's very busy. He's tough to keep track of because he's all over the pitch and he creates chances for UVA. He hasn't done that tonight. He hasn't been involved.
There's Steedman now, skipping around one challenge, still standing on the ball. He might get a shot off here. Nope. Saw Pinto close him down just in time. But Joe Bell is on it. Into some space, finds Croft. Just a little too much on it. See Joe Bell, as you mentioned in the open of the show, New Zealand youth player, played in the U20 World Cup, was outstanding. Turned down 2 different professional contracts. Viking from Norway, came back again multiple times, tried to make multiple offers, but George Gelnabach said no, he wanted to stay here, wanted to keep working on his game, and they found a spot for him. And he's been an outstanding player early in the season.
And it's because of his maturity. He takes care of his body. He studies the game. He's always watching film. It goes a long way. And he values the coaching of George Gelnabach. He thinks that he'll guide him to really be ready for a club that makes sense for him to leave college for. Daryl DK has only had 6 touches thus far. If he's your point man, you want to play off him. And it looks like John Kerr is tasking the responsibility of Sergi Noose just to mark him 1v1. I believe in you. I trust in you to do it.
He James Stanley taken down hard. He's holding his foot, but they play on. And oh, Daniele Prok is just mixing people up right now. Tried to clip that through for Godarson. Prok is, let's say, feeling himself right now, and rightfully so.
He's skillful. He's got deft touches. His ability to off-foot a defender and wrong-foot him and then go by him. He doesn't have the most pace in the world, but he doesn't need it if he plays like that.
Ball goes off with Gunnarsson.
Prok doing what he does best, gliding by defenders. There's 3 UVA guys, goes by them, and then tries to play it in behind for Gunnarsson, but it was cut out. But you can just see how talented he is and how much attention he commands. UVA is just throwing guys at him, and if he can go by them, that's when you slip in someone, and Gunnarsson made a good run.
Driven by Kessler, looking for Gunnarsson. Brings it down nicely, he gets his head up, low ball played in. Whoa! Noose. Facing his own goal, seemed a little wrong-footed, just popped it over. Go out for a corner.
Taking the corner kick for Virginia, number 8, Joe Bell.
Joe Bell, third corner of the day. Again, driven to that spot, making the run, it deflects! And it'll go out harmlessly for a goal kick, but that was just wide of the post.
This is where you can flip a game upside down, a set piece, a corner kick. Ball in, Kessler makes a touch, looks like it bounced off DK's knee. Now for a goal kick.
It's the best looking opportunity, at least from one of those 3 corners that for Virginia had, as Kessler ran onto that. He's pounded the ground. I think he wished he did a little better, but it almost worked out. Stanley with a nice flick on. Prok just overran it, but battles for the ball. Ooh, goes down hard. Oh, Gunnarsson turns and lets him have an earful. Alan Radosov comes over and will try to square things away here. Talked about this, the first ACC game. Both these teams have national championship and ACC championship aspirations. This is a big one, to say the least. Let's see our officials for the night. Kevin Maurer, Hudson Owens are your assistant referees, taking a look at another little nutmeg pull.
Oh, just class. And then he goes up. Gunnarsson gets heated. Try and get a reaction out of Prok.
Oh, good move by Gunnarsson, but Ian Murphy read it. Deflection falls to James. Good touch by Brandon Williamson, brings it down. Silky smooth, gets it out to Stanley. Stanley looking long for Scotty Taylor to run it down. Freshman from Jersey, battling with Kessler. And Radosov says that was not shoulder to shoulder, and that'll give them a free kick in what can be a dangerous area.
Great run by Scotty Taylor into space. It looked like a 50-50 challenge to me. It didn't look like a foul, but regardless, here it is, in behind. Yeah, he got him in the back. It's a foul. Kessler anticipated it, but Scotty Taylor made such a good run, was able to turn his back at the last second to get that foul.
Smart play by the freshman, third-team All-ACC guy Kessler is. But Scotty Taylor's the only true freshman that's really out here. Now, there's freshmen on the field. We mentioned, you know, Gunnarsson is a freshman from Sweden. But these guys, Uland is a freshman from Iceland, but they're not really freshmen. They're 20 years old. Scotty Taylor, a little different situation. Gunnarsson plays it in. Good opportunity for Stanley! And the save by Shuttler.
Stanley left unmarked. Tried to guide it in the far post. Great set piece.
Shuttler's had to be called into action. Now, that wasn't the most difficult save, but that ain't easy.
Well, they're not touch tight, and UVA does a little bit of zone marking with 3 or 4 guys man marked. And if you do not anticipate someone getting in front of you and making contact, then you're freeing them up for a free header, just like that.
Chance to tell you here, ACC football is here. Visit getaccn.com to check for providers in your area. If you don't see your listed provider there, contact them to demand they carry the ACC network. Such great coverage. Over 450 events as Hassan Pinto talks to the official right now. There's over 400 events. Football season is in full gear right now. You've got great storytelling, unique access behind the curtain, if you will. So many different series and so many great teams and institutions. GetACCN.com. Demand it now if you are not able to watch the ACC network. We're there all the time.
Oh, yeah.
All times a week. Tons of soccer games coming your way.
Doesn't get better.
Duke band in full effect here. We cross under 20 minutes left in the first half alongside Charlie Davies, former national teamer, BC Eagle. I'm Dallin Cuff. Duke leads 1-0 over a Christopher Gardarson goal in the first 5 minutes of play. Here's Scotty Taylor skipping through some trouble. Steven finds Bell in a little bit of space. Ike goes down. I mean, Donaciano goes down, and that'll draw a flag. Ian Murphy says, hey, he's diving. Flag. That's not wrong sport, wrong football there, but yes, Ian Murphy commits the foul.
Got to be physical in the right spots on the field. There, now you're giving Charlotte's UVA a perfect opportunity to whip in a ball from a good distance. For them, this is a set piece that they're going to look to capitalize on. Joe Bell has that quality.
Dinlow skips up. Kessler tries to get a head on it. Still alive. Opportunity. Kessler shoots it, and it's going to ricochet. Ball stayed alive in the mixer. And the junior capitalizes. His first goal of the campaign, his first career goal for the Cavs. Gets Jordan Gelovac's crew back knotted at 1.
Henry Kessler.
And we talked about it, not giving up bad fouls. Here it is, DK using his body to get Pinto off center. And Kessler's there for the rebound. Makes contact. Hits off the post and in. We're level here. Now, this could be what UVA needed to get back in the game, because Duke has been the front runner thus far.
That's a tough one for Will Pulisic, as his guys just couldn't clear it out in front of him. And in the end, Kessler gets his first career goal at a big time for the center back. Third team All-ACC, John Kerr saying, got to get it out of there.
You can't give up that foul in that place to begin with. It's a bad spot to give up a set piece if you're Duke. You've controlled the game thus far, and now you're letting UVA get comfortable, get back into it, get confidence.
You see number 7 in blue tracking down the ball here. That's Daniel Wright. He just checked into the game after that Kessler goal for Scotty Taylor. Wright's the junior from Michigan. Bit of a super sub for this team. Comes off the bench a lot. He's played in this is his 44th appearance for the Blue Devils as a junior. He's only started 11 games. Brandon Williamson, arms out saying, play it to me, but Frick's got a lot of pressure on him. Tripped up by Gunnarsson. Loses his armband, and Radosov coming over. Gunnarson's been culprit of a number of fouls. As we taking a look at the goal for UVA.
Joe Bell hits it on the ground, it bounces. Then it's ping-ponging around everywhere. Duke's trying to get things settled, and by Kessler, but it's on goal, hits the post and in.
Goalie cam, keeper cam, whatever you want to call it. Beautiful angle there, unless you're Will Pulisic, because the ball behind him.
But it is a great angle.
It's beautiful. Ian Murphy, is he going to be upset with himself there? He kind of couldn't get it out and played it back under the back post. Is that something he should have done better with?
Well, you have DK underneath you, Darryl, using his big body to put you off, and it's hard to get anything on the ball. And that's clever from Daryl Dike to use his body well.
Darson still in the game. Not the usual starter, Max Moser is, as another foul is committed. That is the 7th of the game for UVA. Gardarson getting the start again. Max Moser's got an injury. Moser's he had 2 assists in 14 minutes of play yesterday. Actually, last game. He's getting warmed up, though. He had 2 assists in 4 minutes, but 14 overall that he played in their win over Harvard, 3-0. But Gardarson's another guy that can play in great balls, and it's a great finish. Really, John Kerr a little spoiled for choice as they look long for Proke. James under pressure. Maintains possession with the corner, though. If you're John Kerr right now, are you pleased with what your team has done this first 30 minutes despite being even now?
You're pleased, but you're also disappointed in that just one letdown where you weren't alert on that set piece.
Good ball by Wright, finds Barracone, his first touch heavy. Famafuna was there to cover from his left back spot.
And that's the difference between a Harvard, a Princeton, Cal State Bakersfield, and UVA. You can get away with making little mistakes like that and not get punished against a quality opponent like UVA. They're going to score.
Luke keeping it in the zone, maintaining pressure. Proke, nice reverse pass, but Barracone had to slow up his run. Kessler just muscles him off the ball.
Fantastic turn by Proke again, playing that cutback ball across the 18 to find Sunil. But Sunil Barracone stopped his run. It was almost like he didn't think it was gonna get through. Don't doubt your teammates.
The aforementioned Max Moser in the game, the senior from Austria, comes in for Gardarson, who is the goal scorer for Duke. Moser, talented guy, he's got 17 assists on his career. He's got 4 this year already. That's first in the ACC. Shuttler steps out. DK battling, almost touched it around Hassan Pinto. Lisic's clearance leaves something to be desired. Frick out battles Donaciano for the header.
Now, a big reason why Donaciano and Steedman have not been active is because you have Brandon Williamson and Matthias Frick just taking them out of the game. Just winning their individual battles, anticipating where they're going to be, and they haven't been able to play down the middle. So UVA has got to figure out ways to play down the flanks, use the width to their advantage.
I mean, Robin Famafuna, the left back, we've hardly called his name, especially in the attacking half. They love to get their fullbacks up high. His name not called that much. Aaron James, who's on the ball, also not able to really get into forward positions. So to your point, we have to figure this out if you can't play through the middle, and they can't really get those guys up the field.
Yeah.
DK just comfortably handling the pressure. Great job by Pinto, but Adasov says foul. Again in a dangerous spot, Steedman draws it.
We all felt that was not a foul. Steedman. It looks like Pinto got a piece of the ball, but he got the man first, I think, and that's why the ref gave that foul.
They tried to take it quick. Ball played out of bounds. Joe Bell upset. Now we've got Connor Kelly coming in the game for Sunil Barracone. Sophomore. Kelly making his 5th appearance of the year. It's been good coming off the pine for them, giving him good minutes. Aiden Stanley trying the long throw, looking for Wright. Hewlin read it all the way. Joe Bell head up, looking for Crofts. He hasn't been able to get him the ball much either. Famafuna now in the attacking third. Or pass by Ian Murphy. Turns over possession. Gunnarsson working. Steedman gives it a ride. Off this video screen. Fight night tonight, Chuck. If Tyson Fury wants that rematch with WBC heavyweight champ Deontay Wilder, he'll have to get past the big Swede, Otto Wallin, tonight. Tomorrow, excuse me. This 12-round fight goes down on ESPN Plus in English and Spanish, 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, from T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. To order the main card, go to espnplus.com/toprank. Be sure to download the ESPN app if you're watching on your mobile device. You can stream the undercard starting at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Radosov having words with Pulisic and Noose. Trying to keep everybody's head on straight here in this hotly contested affair for both these top 6 teams in the nation. Pulisic poor distribution out of the back.
Now, we haven't heard Croft's name mentioned too often because Joe Bell.
I agree.
When he's on the ball, that's when runners start making great in behind direct runs. And without him there's no initiation. So for him to be on the ball, that's when you're going to start seeing this UVA front 3 making creative runs.
Proke with a nice 1-2. He was cleared out. He wanted a foul. He's turning and complaining to the
21.
assistant refs, but there was the ball turned over.
21. Behind you to the right.
Steedman stepping around Kelly.
Up! Hey, the backside, watch the run.
Donaciano.
Slide, up, take it through. Cover.
Aaron James in a little bit of space. He's it off for Bell. They play the 1-2. DK's going to step onto it. They'll get another corner.
You win this one. Come on.
4th corner of the night. They scored in their last set piece. It's not a corner, it was a dead ball free kick.
Good run from DK. Daryl DK using his body well. Good run and staying strong, trying to get that cross in.
Again to the penalty spot. Kessler tries to step on it. Went for the fantastic side kick from the center back.
Henry!
Shuttler going to play it long. Crofts was judged offside and then judged active. Came close to the ball. Nathaniel Crofts, one of the goal scorers when they beat Maryland 2-0. When Maryland was then the #1 ranked team in the nation. Duke now the #2 team. The last time they beat 1 and 2 in the same season, they won a championship in 2014. The previous time they beat #1 and 2 in the nation, 2009, won a national championship.
You think they don't know that heading into this one?
You think the players know that?
Oh, the players know this.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Maybe I didn't win enough games in college to realize those type of things. Aiden Stanley nutmegs Gunnarsson. Then fouls him. Fouls are 8-8. It's been a little touchy. There's definitely it's a high-intensity matchup, and it's become a little physical here.
You see Aiden Stanley and Sergi Noose going at it, too, after that play. I think Sergi wanted him to be quicker, get the ball off his feet.
James stepping into a little more space again. Oh, but he thought Gunnarsson was going to zig when he zagged. Pulisic out to Moser. He's been dealing with a leg injury since the beginning of the season. He's still bolting forward as he plays it out wide for Kelly. Kelly low cross. Maybe a shot, I don't know, but in the end, shot comes. It was a shot, so yes, the shot of the pass, we don't know.
Moser was looking for that return box to lead him into the box so he could just smash one on goal or play it across.
Aaron James, poor turnover. Again, getting a start for Brett Halsey. guy that George Gelnevach really likes in his squad. Halsey, that is a sophomore, picked up a hamstring injury earlier in the week, giving James a chance, but there's Halsey. He's got ice on that hammy. Tough for him, I'm sure, to sit out, and they could use a guy like him right now. Graciano tried to play a little flick onto DK, but he wasn't making that run. Right in space. Williamson on it. Left it short. Famafuna was able just to get his foot on it. Noose and DK one-on-one. DK just pinging off of him. Oh! Clips his heel. And Alan Radosov goes to the pocket. So there's your first card of the match. And it is against the center back, the former UVA player, grad student, two-time All-ACC player with UVA.
Here it is, DK using his big body, and Noose takes a piece out of him. He had no attempt to play the ball there. That's just taking a shot at DK there. Physical game, but UVA use that more often. Now Sergi Hughes has a yellow card. Take advantage of that. He can't foul DK on the run, on the break.
Joe Bell standing over the ball. Had it in this position a few minutes ago, and Bell just struck it real early, went out of play. Now he clips it over, and right in the hands of Pulisic. Another miscommunication there. So let me ask you about that. If you're DK, you played that center forward or striker position. Are you telling these guys at break, you got to play ball, it's gonna be long, play early? Let me go to work on this guy. How do you attack him now that you know Noose has a yellow? Well,
I think George Gelnevach is going to go right to the team and say, this is an area we want to focus on. They're leaving DK and Noose alone for a 1v1 situation. Get him the ball. He has a yellow card. He can't take those fouls if there's an advantage. He has to let it play, or he's going to take a second yellow to get him a red. It's a huge advantage for UVA heading into the second half.
We'll see if they take advantage of that, or look to at least, and if at all, John Kerr can make any type of adjustment. Can he? The way they play the 3-4-3, Noose is in the middle of that three center backs.
You're not taking Sergi Noose off even with a yellow card. His leadership, his passing ability, is too important to this team.
Daniele Proch also important to his team, taken down by Uland, a Norwegian freshman. He's played every minute so far, and he's now his 4th game in college here in the States. And Noose, they like to bring up, as they do right now, he can strike a really good dead ball from this area. Barcelona, Spain native.
Barcelona.
Thank you for the Catalan pronunciation. Appreciate that.
I'm here to help, you know.
I think your pronunciation used a little work, but it was a good effort.
Yeah, Barcelona.
Let's cut that out. Can we edit that out of the broadcast? We got to keep that in. This isn't a podcast?
Yeah, for sure. How many times have they gone over this in training? Shuttler is very familiar with the technique Sergi Noose uses.
Noose has that Ronaldo-like stance as he approaches the ball. Drives it on frame, but Shuttler in the end, comfortable. DK trying to track down this ball with San Pinto. Pinto had to play it. In the end, gets throw in.
Noose tries to go keeper side, but starting the bend from the end of the wall. Just not enough power on it.
Ready, guys. Go.
Bell clips it in. DK all alone. And that one he's definitely going to want back. Went for the spectacular, and it's out for a throw-in. Should he have brought that down on his chest? Do you think he had enough time?
You could, but I do like the first touch, the volley. Here, Joe Bell plays a great ball, and it's all about technique here. All you need to do is focus on the technique, just making contact. And I think He was anxious to get that on goal because it's like a meatball.
Those are early ball played in. Those things can be so dangerous. Assisted on a goal in their matchup last year like that. Early ball played in, dipping, swerving. T.S. Frick, a little bit of space, not common in this game in the middle of the park. Oh, right, nice move past Hewlin. Kessler, though, there to recover, deflects, right to Moser. 1-on-1 with Shetler, he shoots. And in the end, Afemafuna protects it. I'm not even sure if it was going in. It got deflected, but the German was there. Daniel Wright, holy, everybody's trying this spectacular.
Why not? It's an ACC matchup. Two nationally ranked teams. Why not try the spectacular? Here, the dummy catches Hewlin off guard. Then the ricochet cross right to Max Moser. It looks like he tries to cut it back across the 6. Didn't find a Duke player.
What a sequence. Wright again tries the same little dummy move, but Afemafuna, the senior, a little more wise to it. Donaciano. Skip past Frick, draws the foul from Kelly. The junior. Donaciano, fouled by Kelly, the sophomore. Less than a minute to play here at Koskinen Stadium. 1-1 between the number 6 team UVA, number 2 team Duke in the nation. Got 5 ACC teams in the top 10 right now. DK battling Noose again. Noose on that yellow card.
Now, because of that yellow card, it's on Pinto, it's on Ian Murphy to stay connected.
Crofts on the ball, chance maybe to play it in late, but Pinto there with the tackle. Son Pinto, grad transfer from Elon. Been a bit of revelation early in the season, John Kerr told us. Weren't sure what they were getting. Really joined the team toward the end of July. Started almost every game except the first one. And we're gonna end this one, it's halftime. Into halftime, I should say, 1-1. Your thoughts on these first 45?
Exciting. Duke controlled the play for the majority of the first half. A missed opportunity, and then all of a sudden, UVA comes down.
We appreciate you watching this encore presentation on ACC Network. Due to some time constraints, we want to move you forward to the good stuff, so here you go.
Daniele Prokop on the ball, plays it wide. Aiden Stanley whips it across. Which is Kessler.
Junior, the goal scorer in the first half, and that may have saved the goal. I mean, Taylor was arriving there. But Kessler, 3rd team All-ACC last year. Quick restart. Now UVA, we're talking about their subs or lack thereof, did not play a game this week, or not play a game even Sunday. It was last Friday, so they've had a week off. Gelnovac says he does that intentionally with scheduling, wants to be able to train and actually get something out of it. And so many teams are playing Friday, Sunday, can't get much training in, so they are fresh. Noose battling DK, and DK wins that battle, gets it off to Crofts. Pinto steps in. Great job by the grad transfer from Elon, and Crofts comes back, and they says clean play. Donaciano to Bell. Back to Donaciano, he's gonna get a shot off, he does, saved by Pulisic, still in play.
Fantastic battle here with Crofts and Pinto. Hassan Pinto comes, he thinks he wins it. Crofts wins it back by slide tackling and starting the attack.
DK on it, gets a turn, shot, and just went wide, and Crofts was coming on the back post but couldn't get anything on it. What a start by the Hoos here in the second half.
Here it is, the battle between Hassan Pinto and Nathaniel Crofts. Then Nathaniel Crofts slide tackles it back for his team, wins it back. Then the shot, the rebound, it comes back. Fantastic up and down. This is how you start a second half.
Great job by Crofts. You saw that battle, you saw the shot, you saw the save. Just really good play. Steedman trying to clip it over the top to Gunnarsson. Turned over. Cavs still on their front foot. Casiano, bad pass, and now Williamson picks it up. I've not called Brandon Williamson's name much. Proke. Mac Herman, trophy candidate preseason, 1 of 5 in the ACC. On the ball, over to Stanley. Both those guys have an assist in this game on the Gardarsson goal. Oh, good 1-2. Is he onside? He is. Great positioning again by the UVA back line, though.
Combination play. Now it's on Scotty Taylor to make those runs, get in front of the center backs.
Moser tries the first time cross. Femafuna just sells out to get the block. Great work.
Great slipped in ball by Proke to Aiden Stanley. We continue to see that trend throughout the game. Those two linking up, combining.
Moser again came on last week against Hartford, had 2 assists in 4 minutes of play. One of them was off a corner. Matthias Frick was the beneficiary off a Proke flick on. At the near post, Frick was in the back post. Sunil Varicone's arms up, says he's not being marked. Low ball played in. This is right up the training ground. Brendan Williams shot! And saved off the line by Hewland.
That was destined for the back of the net. Fantastic short play. Here it is, laid back by Proke for Brendan Williamson, who lashes one on the ground. Incredible clearance by UVA.
This is high-level stuff. That was drawn up on the training ground, executed perfectly, and Hewland with the save off the goal line. Mosier now on the other side. Don't go short this time. In-swinger floated in. Cleared out. Williamson will just lash at it, and it's out into touch.
What a block by Andreas Hewland there, and he's pumped. I've seen that one too many times from a New England Revolution center back by the name of Jalil Anibaba. He prides himself on celebrating blocks.
Well, wouldn't you there? You just saved a goal. It's as good as scoring a goal.
It's just the whole mentality of a defender. Whether it's a block, whether it's a tackle, they celebrate like they scored a goal.
As they should.
And
I know you don't relate to that.
Oh, it annoys any striker. I'll tell you that. It got under my skin.
Hewland, the Norwegian international, with beautiful angle on the goal cam there. You saw that thing was going in the back of the net. He clears it off. Good play by Cross to get it out wide to Bell. Cross touches on to DK. Late push by Frick. Official Radosov said play on.
Duke has done a fantastic job of anticipating the next ball. Cutting out the passing lanes. Brendan Williamson, the ground he covers. He's just got an incredible engine. You heard Galvin Match, he talked about following Joe Bell around, Scotty Taylor. Well, they're always just keeping an eye on him.
Taylor's really working hard. I mean, every coach talks about it. Good players, good attackers are playing on both sides of the ball. You know a lot about that. Setting the defensive attack, setting the defense from the top. And he's been fantastic working all day long, Scotty Taylor. 1-2 again with Proke and Stanley, but Hewland is there. Doesn't need to usher it out of play. Keeps it in coolly. Back to Hewland again. He's got Crofts making the run. He finds him. DK and Pinto in a foot race. That's a tough one because he's just a big dude and you kind of touched him and he fell over.
As a defender, you're always going to get that call.
Yeah. Radosov's going to have a word with him. Does that warrant that? Was it that much in it?
There wasn't that much in it, but the defender's always going to make the most of it with the noises, with the rolls. And the ref's got to do his job by just telling the striker, hey, easy on that.
Gotcha. And there was a little push in the back, and again, it's a big dude delivering that push. Proch, nice turn. Head up, I'll reverse pass to Stanley. Max Moser unmarked on the back post still, but great defense. Not allowing Stanley to get the cross off. Now, Virginia looking to counter. Joe Bell's on his horse. Pinto, another great, oh, not a great tackle. Blue Devils, oh, Bell throws the ball off a noose, and that's gonna be something. And it's nothing to do with Noose, who's on a yellow card, the only player on a yellow in this game for now, but that's gonna change now as Joe Bell goes in the official's book.
Sergi Noose knew what he was doing. He was trying to slow up the play. That's what any experienced center back would do, but he's got to be careful, toeing the line with the yellow card. Here it is, Hassan Pinto makes a challenge. He gets Joe Bell. The ref was gonna play advantage. He decides to call the foul back. Then you see the altercation there, and Joe Bell just whips it, the ball into his chest.
Old teammates, again, Sergi Noose, grad transfer from UVA, two-time All-League defender at UVA. Last year, injuries, decided to sit out the season, had 1 year of eligibility, comes to Duke, another top 10 program. Tempers running a little high. Bell to play it in, floated to the back post. Steven keeping it in, out battles Daniele Proch, still Steven, now he's got some space. DK winds up on it, lays it off. Kessler, the center back and goal scorer from the first half, had a wide open chance, but airmail. All right, speaking of airmail, tomorrow Dabo Sweeney, #1 Clemson, be at the Carrier Dome to take on Dino Babbers and Syracuse Orange in a big Week 3 matchup. 2 years ago, again, Cuse pulled off the win, the only team to beat Clemson since then, and then last year gave them everything they can handle. Now, Dino Babers' crew got boat raced against Maryland last weekend. They'll be looking to prove something at the Carrier Dome tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC, and of course you can watch on the ESPN app, and you should be watching. That's going to be a great game. Carrier Dome is going to be rocking. Here, the Vuvuzelas here, they were giving them out for free, reminiscent of South Africa 2010 World Cup and 2009 Confederations Cup, which I know you remember fondly.
Oh, it's a beautiful sound.
You may be the only person that thinks that.
I love it.
Of course, Charlie's crew played Brazil in the final of that tournament, beat Spain, who hadn't lost in 980 games, or whatever it was, beat Spain in the semifinals.
They hadn't lost in 2 years. And you're talking about Fernando Torres, Xavi, David Villa,
Iniesta,
Sergio Ramos, Iker Casillas, and they went on to win the World Cup 2010. So what a talented team. And we knocked them off 2-0. Let's go.
I thank you for that. That was one of my favorite nights in New York City when I was living there. Came back from Red Eye. That and Michael Jackson actually passed away that day too, which obviously bad news, but led to quite a party and all day for us. And thank you for that.
Yeah, of course.
You're a good guy.
That's what I'm here for.
Joe Bell picks it off, and this could be an opportunity. DK in front. What's the decision from Bell? Reverse pass to Cross. Cross on his left side, and it gets through! Pulisic! Oh, Will Pulisic's going to want that back. Cross makes him pay. Quick turnover and counter. UVA up 2-0 on the road at the #2 team in the nation.
Joe Bell, he picks off the ball, reads it, then plays Nathaniel Crofts in behind. He takes a touch, uses the left foot, and squeaks it by Will Pulisic on the ground. Joe Bell, great ball to the feet of Nathaniel Crofts, who just smashes it low. And the celebration, you can't see me. Well, I see you, Nathaniel Crofts. Fantastic finish. Through the legs of Will Pulisic.
Tough for Duke, who controlled most of the first half, but that seems about right for the first 15 minutes of this half. It seems like Virginia's been on the front foot.
They have. They made some adjustments. Joe Bell figuring out ways to get involved. He cuts out that pass, starts the attack.
Oh, Cross comes in with a hard challenge, but ball first. UVA finds himself up 2-1.
And he's a difference maker. He's the key player.
Again, Joe Bell, the junior, born in Bristol, England, but New Zealand family, plays for their youth national teams, U20 World Cup. He's played the U17 World Cup. He got an offer from Viking in Norway. They came after him. Other teams have come after him. He turned down 2 college, 2 professional opportunities to stay here at UVA. Nathaniel Crofts, talented player in his own right, gets his second goal of the campaign. The first one came against the #1 team in the nation at the time, Maryland. So Crofts gets up for these big occasions, to say the least.
And George Galnavac, I'm sure, told Joe Bell, okay, we can't find you because they're marking you. Well, turn defense into offense. That's exactly what he did. The transition game.
Scotty Taylor working, Kessler working as well, knocks it out. Duke an attacking throw, but there will be a sub before that happens. Spencer Patton coming on the field, but here's the Maryland game earlier in the season, which ended up being a 2-0 win, and Daryl Dike. That is beautiful from the big fella. Curler, then 2 minutes later, and here comes Crofts. Loose ball in the box, finishes it at Audi Field, the battle for the DMV, and that's how it would finish back on September 2nd. 2-0 win for the Hoos as they moved up the top 25 rankings. Have a chance now to dethrone the #2 team in the nation here as they're up 2-1. You're saying before we saw that little memory there from a couple weeks ago. Spencer Patton comes on for Axel Gunnarsson. Patton Jr. out of Pennsylvania. Number 12, working hard with the ball there. Noose, head up. It's a great passer out of that back line. Down goes Christopher Gardarsson. Middle of the pitch.
You see UVA getting numbers forward when they win the ball in transition. That's how you hurt this Duke team. Once you cause a turnover, you attack and you get numbers committed.
Just mentioned Gardarsson. He was the goal scorer for Duke in the first half. He came on after that goal for Sunil Varicombe, but this could be another opportunity for Virginia. DK tracking it down. Good tracking back by Moser. DK battling, still. Donaciano. Bell dispossessed in the middle play. So if you're Duke right now, the last 17 minutes have looked much different in the first half. What do you do to change things up if you're John Kerr?
You got to get runners in behind this back line. Stretch this UVA team. Scotty Taylor, can he get more involved? Daniele Proch, can you come into the midfield? Stretch Duke's back line and then come into the midfield, get on the ball and create for others.
Duke is missing Colby Agu, who started first 4 games of the season at center forward for them. That's why Scotty Taylor got the start for John Kerr's crew. Agu battling an injury, picked up training this week, couldn't go. So they're down an option up top. Murphy flips it in, looking for Taylor, but too much on it.
When they overload the wings, Duke, they have Aiden Stanley, Max Moser, guys who can whip balls in, and Daniele Proch was the one who was orchestrating that, playing those 1-2s, drawing UVA defenders out of space. They got away from that, and UVA became a little bit more enlightened on the defensive side. How do we deal with that? They've done a terrific job thus far.
What can Proch do to find the game? He's only got 1 shot in this game. He averages 4, but as you mentioned, he was pulling the strings more in this game. How can he get more in the mix as Steven tackles it away?
Well, Duke have to control the ball. They have to get possession. UVA is now comfortable. They're the ones taking it to Duke and pushing Duke into their own defensive half. So can he create a turnover just like Joe Bell did and create something from defense?
Well, they are defending right now. So Matthias Frick late steps in. DK on the ball, lays it off for Bell. Good read by Ian Murphy. Taylor looking to take off. They held his jersey. There was no call there by Colin Radisov. Colin Radisov, the official.
That's the moment I'm talking about. Scotty Taylor, make that run and commit to it. He hesitated a bit. If he didn't hesitate, he's through in on goal.
Murphy ends up playing right in the feet of Nathaniel Crofts. And he's standing looking for Proke, finds him. Proke around the box, dangerous, dancing.
Beat him the first time, just put it in the box.
Kept in. Frick stepping forward to Stanley. Limited his service much better in this half. George Gelnavash told us at the break that's been a big problem. Told us early in the week we need to stop it. They didn't do it much in the first half, second half much better. Frick finds Proke. Proke gives it a ride, gets the deflection. It's just over the net.
Great patience from Duke, side to side, trying to probe, figuring out where's the soft spot. Then Daniele Pro got into a good spot on the field and then turned and made something happen. Here he is, he turns, gets a shot off, nearly finds the back of the net.
That became a dangerous knuckleball. It's Christopher Gardarson over the ball now, driven toward the penalty spot. Cleared out by Ulen, but kept in. Gardarson on that favored right foot, played in. Taylor gets his head on it. Couldn't quite redirect it. Take a look at Proke's deflected shot.
Everyone's watching that thing dip.
If he's a foot back, that might have gotten under the bar. DK whistled for a foul, trying to shield the ball. Played quickly by Duke. Williamson's head up as he's on it. Gardarson.
But Duke kept possession, kept swinging it until they found Daniele Proke in a good spot. Be patient, don't force things.
Duke probing again, Murphy on it.
UVA in full defense mode. They got all their numbers behind the ball.
Any concern your UVA right now? 22 minutes left. You're kind of sitting back, getting numbers behind the ball, and just trying to last this thing out on the road?
Everything's looks sound right now because they're not giving Duke too many dangerous opportunities. They've given one outside the box because of Daniele Proke, and it's a moment of brilliance that he can turn. Basically, if you're not stepped up tight to him, he can make you look foolish. And so, if you're UVA, you just continue to get guys behind the ball, make smart decisions. If you give up a ball, make sure it's in the attacking half.
Like that, Spencer Patton was making the run forward, but Henry Kessler's pass was wayward.
It's when Duke can play balls in between the lines, and guys are finding it in the seams. If that starts to happen, then you got to make adjustments. Then you worry, okay, we got to do something different. We got to get more pressure on the ball and not allow Duke to dictate the tempo.
Duke's able to come away with the ball there. Played up to Stanley. Yes, Frick's armband flapping in the wind. He's had quite a problem with that today. Oh, Brandon Williams through ball. Murphy's able to get on it. Perfectly weighted ball. But cleared out again. The back line for the Hoos in good position. Quick restart. Stanley comes away, that gets it on that left foot. Gets it out for a throw, says Colin Radosov. Says it went to the wrong side of the corner flag if you're a Blue Devil fan. The band plays on. Pinto striding forward, still Pinto, lays it off for Moser. Moser too close to shove it.
But it's better from Duke. Swinging the ball out wide. That's where their strong points are. Getting it wide and whipping balls in.
Duke only 3 shots in the second half here. They average 15 on the season. They only have 8 shots overall. This is clearly a step up in class in terms of teams they played this year as DK works, just shrugs off News. Still DK, 1 on 4. Still he's dancing around. Spins it off, he might have a chance. He lays it. Oh, Daryl DK. Just put it on a platter, Pat, and you can celebrate, but go give a pound to number 9.
Daryl DK, strength. He says, okay, come on, Serge. Sergi Noose, you ain't got me. I've been in the gym. And he throws him, shrugs him off, takes Ian Murphy, dances with the ball, cuts it, then he uses his strength again, spins him, undresses defense. And Spencer Patton there for the tap in. Look at the spin, the turn, then the presence of mind to see the runners, get his head up. Fantastic play from Daryl DK. George Galnavach is challenging him to be ready for the professional game. That's how you do it. Make an impact. Use your strength to your ability, but at the same time, have the presence of mind. Be clever. Get your head up. Be aware of other players in the box. That's what he did. Fantastic goal from Daryl DK, their number 9.
And Spencer Patton's getting a yellow because he took his shirt off. You can't do that in global soccer now, global football. But, I mean, Daryl DK, wow. What? And you said it, the presence of mind. I'm not going to lie. I do that much work, I'm taking the shot. I feel like I'm just going to fire away. But that's why he's out there. Makes the right decision to hook up his teammate and give them a 2-goal lead on the road against the number 2 team in the nation. And Will Pulisic was livid. He was 1 on 5 over there. And he made that happen.
And I was just going to get back to it. We need to see more of Daryl DK. He's got a defender on him, 1v1, who's got a yellow card. Sergi Noose cannot take chances. He can't take risks. So run at him, cause him to foul you, put him in bad spots.
He was in a bad spot there. He was on the floor. He got discarded.
Absolutely beasted is what I would say.
Yeah. And over the top for Moser. Moser's still in the game. He's come over at number 11 in your screen there and gotten water a number of times. Dealing with leg injury for most of the year, so has not logged a ton of minutes to see how his body holds up. Quick reminder for you, in case you didn't know, ACC football is here. It's on right now, but visit getaccn.com to check for providers in your area. If you don't see your provider listed as an ACC carrying network, contact them. Demand they carry ACC network. We got great football games coming your way tomorrow. Geico primetime matchup. Florida State against UVA. UVA looks like the real deal. Florida State struggling still. What's that team about? Also Furman, Virginia Tech, and Bethune-Cookman, Miami just tomorrow on the ACC network. GetACCN.com. Demand they carry us right now. Charlie and I are there calling tons of soccer games. You got over 450 events all season long. Great storytelling, behind-the-scenes access. ACC Network's where it's at.
You don't want to miss it, especially when we're on the 1s and 2s. I mean, this is a team. You know what I'm saying?
Hype, man.
Hey.
Now Sergey Noose goes down.
Can't forget about our man Alex Farmarantino on the back.
And our entire crew back there doing our thing tonight on ESPNU, but we'll be doing it on the network, ACC Network, all season long. As Noose goes down, we'll see if he can carry on. They don't normally substitute. John Curtis does not normally substitute his defenders, likes to keep them in, log their minutes, and rotate the forwards as they work. And Daryl Dike is a guy we've talked a lot about today, and rightfully so. He's on the all-freshman team last year, one of 4 guys on this squad. We talked with Daniel Steedman. He's there. Abubakar Keita, he left. He became a homegrown player for Columbus. He's got 6 appearances in the MLS this year. And last but not least, Cabral Happy Kamseu. He's injured. He's going to be coming back. They actually had him in uniform today. They would use him if necessary, maybe. But right now, he can keep resting up and look forward to their next game against Radford on the 17th, because DK might have put this one to bed with all his work.
And this is the presence and knowing I'm a big guy, I'm going to use my body the right way. Keep the ball moving, too. Throws him off. Ian Murphy dazzles him with some footwork, and then, I'll cut back, and then roll him. There. Now, as a striker, but as a striker, you get in that position. He hasn't seen the ball that much. A lot of players will tend to shoot because you get excited, you finally have a chance at goal, but he realized this isn't the best angle. Let me get my head up and see what else is around me, the surroundings. And he found Spencer Patton and made the right choice. When a professional scout comes to watch him play, that's the play that's going to stick out in mind. Making the right choice in a crucial spot on the field. Sure, you have a goal scoring chance, you're in front of the goal, but it wasn't the shot that he took. It was the right mentality of let's get the best opportunity for this team right now, and that's a pass to Spencer Patton.
That was just an all-around tremendous play. To your point, a lot of scouts are going to want to see that, and they know his physical capabilities, his strength, but he works on his touch, understanding of the game. As George Gelnabach told us, the sky is the limit. Good lineage. You mentioned before, his brother Bright played at Notre Dame. Big East Player of the Year back in '09, first-round draft pick of the Columbus Crew. Played for a number of teams in MLS, and Daryl looks like he's going to follow in his brother's footsteps at some point in time.
Both of them athletic freaks, right? Phenomenal. But I think what separates Daryl from his brothers, now Daryl is adding that presence to his game, the soft touch, delicate feet, finding other players, different ways to get involved, whereas his brother Bright was solely focused on athleticism.
Early ball played in by Moser there, but too close to Shuttler.
I don't want him crossing the ball.
Moser's still in this game. It's his 3rd cross of the game. Remember, they said they wanted to limit him. The last 2 he's had were contested, put him too close to Shuttler. They've done a good job of that. Also, we should mention, obviously, Sergey Noose went out of the game with the injury. Number 10, Sunil Barracone, is now patrolling the midfield. And Matthias Frick moved back to the center back position, which is what he's been playing prior to the last week of the season. They like him in center midfield. That's Frick right there that was on the ball. And you see Barracone 10 in front of him, who's playing that midfield role now, who usually started as one of the attackers for this 3-4-3 formation. Murphy tries to skip around Joe Bell, doesn't work.
They put Daniel Wright up top for Duke now to see if they can get something different. Sky Taylor, big body, kind of towed the line. But Daniel Wright comes into midfield, can drag those center backs with him and hopefully create space for a Proke to run him behind.
Gardarson, the goal scorer, pounding the turf down hard. He is not happy, and Irakosi Donaciano is going to get a yellow card for that work.
Here it is. He catches him on the foot late.
Ooh, studs up.
Virginia, yellow card issued to number 11, Irakoze.
That hurts.
Luciano.
That does hurt. I promise you that.
Frick looking long for Murphy. Keeps it in play, but no, he does not keep it in play. Out for a throw. Gives you a chance to tell you about some boxing. Fight night tomorrow night, folks. If Tyson Fury wants that rematch with WBC heavyweight champ Deontay Wilder, remember they drew a few months back, controversial draw. He'll have to get past the big Swede, Otto Wallin, first. That's tomorrow. 12-round fight goes down on ESPN Plus in English and in Spanish at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific from T-Mobile Arena out in Vegas. To order the main card, go to espnplus.com/toprank and be sure to download the ESPN app if you're watching on your mobile device. Stream the undercard starting at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Tyson Fury, quite a character and a fighter.
Who do you have winning the fight?
I'm going to go with Fury, only because I want to see Wilder and him fight again. I mean, that dude took some shots from Wilder, got up, but overall he controlled the fight. So I'd love to see it again.
I'm with you.
You with me?
I'm with you.
I like it. You put some shekels on it?
I have positive juju, you know what I'm saying?
I feel you. Alan Radosov come back to talk to Colin Shuttler, maybe about some time wasting as we track under 14 minutes left. Alongside the Charlie Davies, partner in crime, I'm Dallin Cuff. We are here from Koskinen Stadium. UVA up 3-1. They went down, though, in the first 5 minutes of this match, 1-0, behind a Christopher Gardarson goal. Henry Kessler, their center back, equalized at half, and then 2 more goals since. Now, here's my question to you, Chuck. UVA's at 6. They will beat the number 2 team potentially tonight. They've already beat the number 1 team. Nobody else in the country can say that. How far up did they go here?
Top 3.
Top 3?
Top 3.
Duke's obviously fallen out of that, so.
You got Wake Forest, who, unless they lose, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, you can't really take them off the top spot if they haven't lost yet, right?
No, you can't. But this is an impressive win on the road.
Yeah, I mean, and particularly the second 45 minutes they've turned in, they really have controlled this game, especially the first 16, 17 minutes. Then they went into a good defensive shell. They get a great goal off the counter by DK. It's been an impressive showing, to say the least.
Duke had numerous opportunities in the first half. They didn't capitalize. Now it's come back to haunt them.
See Gardarson comes out for Scotty Taylor. The freshman's going to get back in there, moving to his center forward position. Daniel Wright, 7 in the blue jersey, then moves into a different spot, a little further deeper in the pitch.
I know Stanford, Indiana, and Georgetown are also ahead of UVA. I would anticipate that they would leap Georgetown. Now, have they done enough to jump Indiana or Stanford? Probably not at this point, unless they get beat this weekend.
Well, that's the difference. Is are you rewarding teams for who they beat? Or are you rewarding teams because yes, all those teams have played quality schedules, but beating number 1, number 2 in the nation. And this game's a road game. That was a neutral game at Audi Field against a rival that you hadn't beaten 6 seasons. As Murphy plays it first time, Taylor on it, flicks it wide.
I know how these college rankings work, so I know they're not going to jump from 6 to 2.
Okay, okay.
So that's why I'm saying
You say 3. Okay, it's tough to, I can't argue with that.
They should, though.
Okay.
With the wins against Maryland, now at Duke, they've been tested. This is a quality team.
They're not done. As Croft's on the ball, he tried to play that up to Spencer Patton, who scored the 3rd goal. Nice flick by Proke. I haven't seen much of him. Taylor dispossessed from behind, but fouled. UVA making some subs in this game. Not a common thing for them, but those guys got to be somewhat tired.
Duke's Achilles heel is not having a number 9. Now, if Colby
Vericone drives it. Woo! Just wide.
Great technique. Now, if Colby Agu can get back healthy and be that number 9 they need.
Entering for the Blue Devils.
Here it is, headed out, clear. Sunil tries to take a 1 touch, but Vericone just gets a little too much under it. But great technique. Just needs to get on top of it to keep it down.
Sergey News comes back in the game. Sunil Vericone is out. He's trying to, I guess, solidify their defensive situation. He's good to go. Frick moves back into the midfield. See if UVA can finish this out. Spencer Patton got them the insurance goal. 12, there's in your picture there.
They've slowed down the game now.
Yep. DK able to spin off Pinto, but throw a little too much heat on it.
But this is the professionalism that George Galnabach talked about with these UVA guys, a lot of these internationals. They know how to manage a game, manage the lead.
Keep going.
Pulisic drives it deep. DK picks it up. Shrugs off Moser, now he's turning upfield. DK, cutting inside. Poor touch by Cross, not common from him. Happy to cycle it back. Just over 9 minutes to go here from Koskinen Stadium. Duke needs to find a goal quickly to change the complexion of this game. They scored within the first 5 minutes, but since then, had a couple opportunities in the first half, did not capitalize on them. In the second half, it's been rather quiet. Whoa, brutal tackle by Hassan Pinto, and we'll see what color card this is going to be. It'll be a yellow.
Blue Devils yellow card issued to number 18, Hassan Pinto.
Happy Kamseyu coming back from injury, and Hassan Pinto, he was committed to the challenge. He was going down, frustrated being down 3-1 because it's not looking great for Duke. They haven't been able to generate chances. You know, when a team feels down, they need some spark to get them going again. Is it you know, Pro coming up with a moment of brilliance? Is it just a set piece, capitalizing off a set piece? They need something to get them going, because right now UVA have total control.
We get set for the restart here. Give you a quick update going on around the top 10, top 20, I should say. UNC and Virginia Tech battling up in Blacksburg. Virginia Tech down 2-1. Mauricio Pineda, he's a Mac Hermann Trophy candidate preseason, and Jelani Peters scored for Carolina. Tech has brought it back. It is 2-1 at the break as Max Moser, injured and limping continually this season. In your picture there, he will walk off the field. Stephen O'Connell comes in for him, number 2. More updates from around the league. The #1 team in the nation, we mentioned before, Wake. They are up 1-0 against Pitt. Michael DeShields, the great center back, was Defensive Player of the Week last week for this league. Scores the 1-0 goal. No, definitely not. But big for him and Jay Vidovich and Bobby Muse. Muse, you were formerly Vidovich's pupil at Wake Forest. Up on his mentor 1-0.
we haven't seen that from Matthias Frick this whole half, being able to dribble from the back to generate chances. First time he's been able to break some lines.
Daniel Crofts finds Steedman. 1-2, Crofts is on the ball. Patton making the run, will cut it back. Play it back hard to Naciano. Got a flick on it to keep it in play, but DK called for the foul on Pinto. Luz tries a quick restart. Pinto down though, so.
DK's got to be in the box though on this cross, on this initial cross. You're the striker, you're the number 9. Make the near post run hard, draw a defender or 2 with you, distract the keeper. Here it is, the foul. Head to Pinto's face. Daryl DK trying to whip his head back to get the flick. Catches Hassan Pinto in the face.
Virginia yellow card issued.
He was offered a
number 9,
card now for DK. Don't want to accumulate those early in the season. 5 of them equals a suspension. It's first of the campaign. Aiden Stanley trying to get on it. Knocked out. Crofts, great job picking it off and staying with it. DK's able to turn and find Patton. Patton tried to clip it over the top, and Williamson got enough of a block, but will wind up at the feet of DK again. He'll be happy to take the foul in that area for sure. He turns his back. There's not much you can do.
Fantastic work from the big man. Here he is. He knows Sergi News cannot approach him, cannot take a risk, use his body. As soon as he feels contact from Brendan Williamson, go down, because you're going to get the foul. And that's what he did. Then you waste some more time in the corner.
Naciano dancing around looking for more fouls. Nope, but they'll keep the possession. Caleb Horton's been waiting to come into this game, and he finally will. The freshman make his 4th appearance of the season.
Entering for Virginia, number 15, Philip Horton.
Going to come on for Daryl DK, who, safe to say, this freshman, man of the match here. Sophomore, excuse me.
Man of the match.
Impressive performance by him. This Virginia team has a game at home against Radford coming up. NC State on the 20th. And then Western Michigan. A couple winnable games mixed around an ACC game. For this undefeated crew right now. Just to remind folks, the last 2 times they beat the number 1 and 2 teams in the nation, Virginia did back in 2014. They won the national title. 2009, they won the national title.
Taking the
5th corner of the game here coming
number
up.
12, Spencer Patton.
Tick, 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 tick.
This is experience. Being able to slow the game down here in the corner.
Wright tries to find Proke. We have not mentioned Proke much in this half compared to the second half. First half, he seemed like he was on the ball a lot, making things happen.
Just as Duke took out Joe Bell in the first half, now UVA have taken Proke out in the second half. And that's by cutting out the service to Proke.
There's the 2 aforementioned guys, Proke and Bell battling it out. Williamson just slashes it long. Crofts scored the 2nd goal of this game. 59th minute work on the ball, but that's offside.
Oh, it looked like a fantastic run from Spencer Patton.
It's goal scorer to goal scorer, but not allowed. Take a look around here. The game so far we had today. Christopher Gardarson got the first goal on a thunderous header. Duke went up and controlled the game, but Henry Kessler gets the equalizer on a loose ball in the box. Nathaniel Crofts, a great 1-2 combination and finish past Will Pulisic. And last but definitely not least, Spencer Patton credited with the goal in the 71st minute, but Daryl Dike put it on a platter for him after a ton of solo work.
This is a tale of two halves, if I've ever heard of one. I mean, you have Duke taking the initiative, being on the front foot, playing balls in behind, getting their best player on the ball, Daniele Proch, and then second half, you didn't even know if he's on the field, aside from that one great shot he had that was deflected over for a corner.
Tale of two halves it has been.
The issue here for Duke is having a striker to stretch the field. When you don't have a striker who can make those runs in behind and keep the UVA backline honest, they can push, they can pressure you. And UVA figured that out. Let's stay high because we're not afraid of pace.
Again, they're playing without Colby Agu, senior striker. 15, Scotty Taylor just tried to make a play on the ball. Got the start for him, his first start of his career here as a freshman. Agu, more of a poacher, to your point, not a guy that's going to get in behind. So that just seems like a missing part of this squad right now, as you mentioned a couple times in this broadcast. And here comes the freshman we mentioned earlier, Cabral Happy Kamseyu, sophomore, Zimbabwe born. He's part of the all-freshman team last year, along with DK Steedman and Keita Abubakar Keita, who is now playing in MLS. Kamseyo dealing with a leg injury this year, but getting a few minutes, so they got even more reinforcements coming as Matthias Frick gets on the ball. Batting around in the box, beach ball situation. Here, Cozy Donaciano made way for Kamseyu. Kraus making the run ahead, as is Kamseyu, but Spencer Patton way overhit that. Joe Bell just took that in the throat, it looked like. He's holding his throat as Steedman takes off with the ball. Daniel Wright still working. Wright goes down, take the foul.
Remaining in the second half.
Taylor trying to turn onto it, but Kessler there just in time. A few times Duke has threatened. The back line for UVA has been in position the second half. I'm saying loose first touch. Oh, high boot. But nothing happened from it.
3-on-1.
3-on-1 situation. We got a jailbreak here. Kamseyu, will he make the right decision? Finally lays it off. Horton, the freshman staying on it, lays it back. Didn't come together. Daniel Wright, nice move.
10, 9,
but in the end,
8,
it'll be all
7,
for naught.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
That's how it'll finish. 3-1, come from behind W from the Cavs. Your thoughts, Charlie, on this win over the #2 team in the nation?
UVA made the necessary adjustments in the second half, and Daryl Dike, what he did up top for this team, the presence, the hold-up play, getting other guys involved, and the fantastic assist for Spencer Patton. I mean, this UVA team is legit. They're a complete team. They have reinforcements coming off the bench. This Duke team is going to rue their missed chances in that first half where they could have put this out of reach, but it came back to haunt them.
It absolutely did. Daryl Dike was outstanding. George Gelnovacz's crew, as you mentioned, is legit. #1 win again.